Episode 172. After over a dozen failures, this first second-tier puppet beast was finally refined 2 days ago. Though it was cruder than the puppets of the Thousand Bamboo sect and slightly weaker in power, it still brought a smile to Han Li's face. He planned to have other cultivators bring him more materials, then mass-produce them. But today, as Han Li sat meditating in his quiet chamber, a sharp, piercing laugh suddenly rang out from outside.
Trouble! The demonic cultivators are attacking. Everyone, get out here and prepare for battle.
Han Li's heart tightened. With a grave expression, he stepped out of the meditation chamber. Now, the cultivators of the 7 sects, who had been meditating in their earthen chambers, emerged with the same solemnity as Han Li. They exchanged a glance, then filed out of the cave dwellings. Xuan Li and Lu Tianmeng now floated expressionlessly beneath the Four Fiend formation, their gazes fixed upward toward the Great Canyon. Behind him, the dozen or so cultivators who had been there all along looked visibly uneasy, but once they saw Han Li and the others arrive as reinforcements, their expressions finally steadied considerably. Han Li followed Xuan Li's gaze and spotted the enemy above the canyon, though it looked like only 20 or 30 of them.
If they dared to strike this deep behind enemy lines, they're all at Foundation establishment or above. They wouldn't bring a chi condensation deadweight, so in terms of raw strength, we're at a complete disadvantage. This battle, it won't be an easy one.
Han Li's side had 9 Foundation establishment cultivators and over a dozen chi condensation disciples. Though they were slightly outmatched, with the Four Fiend array as their anchor, they were not without a fighting chance. At Xuan Yu's signal, Han Li and the other cultivators ascended, taking position near the 4 slaughter array as they silently watched the enemy's movements. It was only now that Han Li could get a clear look at the demonic cultivators who had come to attack. Most of them wore red and yellow robes, clearly belonging to 2 different sects. At the front stood a plain-looking girl in red robes and an old man in yellow who appeared to be in his 60s or 70s. As for their cultivation levels, nothing remarkable. One at early Foundation establishment, the other at late Foundation establishment. At that moment, they were facing each other with smiles, chatting about something.
Careful. Those are people from the Demon Eye sect and the Heavenly Fiend sect.
Lu Tianmeng, the only one with any real experience fighting the 6 sects, seemed quite wary of these 2 factions. Han Li and the other cultivators, upon hearing this, naturally became doubly alert and grew even more cautious. At that moment, the red-robed girl above stopped her conversation. She spoke a few soft words. Han Li and the others were too far to hear, but the red-robed figures behind her all flew forward, slowly drifting toward the 4-kill formation below the canyon.
At the same time, the yellow-robed elder silently waved his hand, and instantly the yellow-robed cultivators on his side transformed into over a dozen streaks of yellow light, hurtling straight toward the 4-kill formation, seemingly intent on arriving before the others, causing Han Li and the rest inside the formation to involuntarily hold their breath.
Some of the more impatient ones directly brandished their magic tools. These yellow-robed cultivators weren't foolish enough to charge straight into the formation. Instead, they halted over 10 zhang away, revealing themselves as a swarm of magic tools shot forth from their bodies, hurtling toward the great array with overwhelming force. The blinding light of the magic tools clashed with the 4-colored radiance of the 4-kill formation, azure, crimson, yellow, and blue, erupting in thunderous explosions that made the cultivators of the 7 sects below pale slightly.
Half of you, take out these Heavenly Fiend sect bastards. Don't let them break the formation. The other half will keep watch for the Demon Eye sect cultivators. Xuanlei leaped out of the formation, the first to release a pristine white sword that transformed into a white rainbow, blocking a flying knife and a bead-shaped magic tool outside the 4-kill formation. Hearing this, the cultivators following Xuan Yu's team also unleashed their magic tools, surging out of the formation to intercept the brunt of the enemy's assault.
Han Li was naturally among them. He released the well-practiced golden axe mother-child blades, and several beams of golden light directly trapped a cyan-colored long halberd-shaped magic tool. Since the owner of the magic tool Han Li had chosen was at the same level as him, both merely at the early Foundation establishment stage, the fight, while appearing fierce with golden light and cyan radiance swirling wildly, was actually something Han Li controlled with ease. He could even spare a glance at the other skirmishes from time to time.
Looks like things are going all right.
Most of the cultivators on Han Li's side were only at the chi condensation stage, and their magic tools were far inferior to the enemy's. It took 5 or 6 of them working together just to barely hold off a single Foundation establishment cultivator's attack. But with the Grand Formation shielding them, these cultivators could retreat into its safety at any sign of danger, so for the moment, no casualties had occurred. As for the other Foundation establishment cultivators, they each engaged a yellow-robed opponent just as he did, the battle unfolding with vivid intensity.
Is this the true strength of the 6 Devil Dao sects? If so, holding the spirit mind shouldn't be a problem at all.
Han Li was still lost in thought when the red-robed cultivators from the Demon Flame sect finally, begrudgingly made their way to the edge of the 4 Fiend formation. This immediately put the yet unengaged cultivators of the Lu Tian Alliance on high alert, their gazes fixed on the newcomers.
Some of the younger 7 sect disciples even looked eager to join the fray.
The red-robed men did not immediately join the fray. Instead, they arranged themselves into a strange formation. At one man's command, each produced a massive crimson banner, blazing with a golden sun emblem, clearly no ordinary weapon.
No, these are the blazing cultivators. They're about to unleash the green sun demon flame. Stop them.
At that moment, LV Tianmeng recalled a shocking scene he had witnessed during the 6th Sect War. His face instantly turned pale. Without a second thought, he charged out of the formation and hurled a leather pouch from his waist. 2 several-foot-long flying centipedes shot out from within. These 2 centipedes were covered in black and yellow ferocious stripes, with a pair of translucent green wings. At the sound of Lu Tianmeng's urgent whistle, they charged straight at the red-robed men, murderous light blazing in their eyes. The other cultivators from the 7 sects who had yet to strike heard this. They had no idea what a blazing flame cultivator or the Azure Sun Demon Flame was, but they knew that if it could make their Foundation establishment late-stage leaders' face change so drastically, it was no small matter. Without hesitation, they followed suit and attacked. The Foundation establishment cultivators, in particular, pressed close behind Lu Tianmeng, their magic tools surging forward alongside the 2 venomous centipedes to strike the man in red. The dozen or so cultivators of the Demon Flame sect stood motionless, gripping their large banners and chanting under their breath, utterly indifferent to the assault bearing down on them. This sight filled Lu Tianmeng and his companions with immense joy. The first of the 2 centipedes to reach the sky above the Devil Flame sect cultivators opened its massive maw, a cloud of malachite venom about to spew forth with savage force. Just then, something shocking happened. The giant centipede's venom had yet to leave its mouth when several thin silver beams of light flickered across its body. Then, following the trail of those silver lights, its body suddenly split apart, cleaved into chunks that tumbled down. Before the stunned Chi sect cultivators could react, the same fate befell the 2nd centipede. This time, Lu Tianmeng's face changed drastically. He hastily halted, pulled out a small shield, and directly summoned it to block in front of him.
The other cultivators behind him scrambled to activate their defensive magic tools and talismans, terrified of meeting the same fate as the centipede.
But then something even more absurd happened. The magic tools that had been hot on the centipede's heels lunged forward to strike, only to be met by a sudden shower of fine silver threads that wrapped them up tight, leaving them completely immobilized.
Thus, the cultivators of the 7 sects, who had just burst out of the Grand Formation, stared at each other in stunned silence, momentarily at a complete loss for what to do.
Use the spirit light art. There are others ahead of those flame men. They're using some kind of body-altering secret technique.
It was only then that the other cultivators caught on, but only those at Foundation Establishment could use the spirit light technique. Those at Qi Condensation could only stare helplessly. Han Li, too, was now using the spirit light technique to observe the scene. He had seen everything that just happened, and it shocked him just as much. Now, with someone's reminder, he took a closer look using the spirit light technique, and sure enough, several faint, almost imperceptible white figures appeared before those magic flame sect cultivators holding the large banners. These figures held slender weapons like longswords in one hand, while the other released strands of silver thread to control the immobilized magic tools. By now, Liv Tianmeng and the other cultivators had spotted the white figures. They threw everything they had at them, spells and magic tools alike, pressing the attack hard, yet those white shadows held them back, blocking every strike. No matter what magic tool or spell they used, it barely seemed to harm the white shadows, almost as if they were truly immortal. But fortunately, these white figures only had two tricks: hacking with their weapons and releasing silver threads from their other hand. As long as you carefully dodged and kept your distance, they were manageable. Otherwise, it was anyone's guess who would be on the offensive.
What the hell are these things? These figures clearly aren't normal humans. Could they be some kind of trained ghost spirits?
Han Li directed the golden blade before him with idle thought.
This casual attitude finally provoked the middle-aged cultivator from the heavenly fiend sect. This one, face dark as a storm cloud, directed the Azure brother to tangle with Han Li's golden blade while silently slapping his storage pouch. Out shot a stream of white orbs spinning and whirling without pause. The pearl shot out, swelling to the size of a house as it hurtled viciously down toward Han Li's head.
Han Li was a bit distracted, but how could he possibly miss a commotion that big? He casually slashed the air with one hand, and a 10-foot-long azure sword beam shot forth, striking the bead squarely. The blow knocked it back several paces, momentarily halting its advance. Then Han Li retrieved a pair of black dragon bangles from his storage pouch and, just as the sword light was about to dissipate, used them to block the opponent's orb, once again locking them in a stalemate.
This left the heavenly fiend sect cultivator across from him utterly enraged, yet for the moment he could do nothing about it.
No!
Han Li's heart jolted at the cry. He whipped his head around again. The red-robed figures had stopped their chanting, and in unison they raised their massive banners skyward. A faint blue flame was already licking at the tips.
So this is the Qingyang demon fire.
Han Li's eyes went wide, fixed on the azure flame, a knot of unease tightening in his chest. LV Tianmeng watched his opponent on the verge of completing the ritual, his own heart sinking lower and lower. But these white figures before him, there was no breaking through them anytime soon.
Fall back! Everyone back into the formation.
Seeing the cyan flames on the great banner growing thicker and thicker, LV Tianmeng shouted in alarm, then was the first to pull back, retreating toward the formation behind him.
Hearing that, the cultivators around him instinctively pulled back with their leader. Seeing this, Xuanler didn't hesitate for a moment and gave the order to retreat as well.
But among Han Li's cultivators, aside from the few who held a decisive advantage and could withdraw at any moment, the rest found themselves unanimously locked in desperate struggle by their opponents, unable to break free.
Han Li's opponent launched a furious assault of their own, trying to pin him down.
But Han Li let out a cold laugh, withdrew his other magic tools, and summoned the white silk shield. He weathered the enemy's assault with ease and slipped back into the formation. This forced the cultivators of the heavenly fiend sect to halt at the edge of the array, their faces twisted with bitter resentment.